Yo guys, it's Hence back with another video. So in today's video, I'm not feeling the best, I'm not gonna lie, so if I cough or something in the video, then that's why. And if you guys are enjoying my videos, I would greatly appreciate a like and subscription from you guys. It means the world to me, and if I earn your subscription, it means a lot to me. So in today's video, we're gonna be going over a bit of when to buy and sell cards in the market, because a lot of people have this misconception about certain days are better for buying and selling, and they look at it on a day-to-day basis rather than a week-to-week basis. And there's a few things that obviously affect card prices, right? So just as in this market in NHL is the same as any other market in the world. For example, if you're trying to buy and sell, I don't know, Coca-Cola, right? And you have billions and billions of bottles of Coca-Cola, too much for everybody in the world to possibly buy, and you produce all this Coca-Cola. Well, the demand for Coca-Cola isn't going to be as high because the supply is so high, and you can get it whenever you want. So what they have to do to increase the demand and decrease the supply is bring the prices down. So it's kind of the same with this market, and I'm going to kind of explain that a little bit here. So a lot of people have the misconception that the best time to buy cards is on Wednesday and the best time to sell cards is on the weekend. And that is true, partially, but there's another side of the story to it, and it also depends on the type of cards that you're buying and selling. So let's start with meta cards, because there's a few different tiers of cards. We'll start with meta cards. Meta are the cards that are, the best in the game that everybody needs to have on their team. The primetime and event Tage Thompsons, the Connor McDavids, the MSPs. Those are the meta cards that I'm talking about here. And the best time to buy and sell meta cards completely depends on the content that is released, okay? The best time to buy meta cards is when their supply is going to increase. And their supply is going to increase in one of two scenarios. The first scenario is that we get a lot of really good packs. So, for example, Rivals Rewards, Champs Rewards, or store packs that are very good value. That's when their supply is going to increase, which means that their price is going to come down a little bit because there's so many on the market. There's too much for the demand, and the demand is going to stay the same, but the supply is going to increase. So the price is going to come down a little bit, and that's when you want to be buying these meta cards. When there's, good packs that come out, when there's Rivals and Champs Rewards that come out. And by Rivals and Champs Rewards, I mean right after they come out. Not 4 or 5 hours later. I mean right when they come out. That is the best time to buy and sell them. And that's how the supply is affected, okay? So that's how we look at the supply side of it. Now we have to look also at the demand side of it. So the demand side of meta cards is, well, when would people want to be buying meta cards for their team? And there's a few examples that I could think of, but the biggest one is the people will want to buy, for example, a base McDavid when the MSPs, there's no really good left-handed, winger or center MSPs. Okay, so even this Lucas Reichel, base Connor McDavid is better than that Lucas Reichel, I can promise you right now. So maybe I would say for this week, since there's not really any super good left-handed winger MSPs or center MSPs that are insane, Connor McDavid's price is actually going to increase because people are going to not want to build Reichel and instead just buy Connor McDavid because he's a better card. So his price might increase because the demand is higher this week. Whereas if we take a look at, the milestone MSPs where they released that Nikita Kucherov, that Kucherov card is probably better than base Connor McDavid. So base Connor McDavid's price is going to come down because people are selling him in order to buy Kucherov, which means that the demand goes down because people want to make Kucherov, and the supply also goes up, which means prices are going to come down for those cards. So just take a look at the cards that come out, and that's kind of what's going to tell you when the best time to buy and sell cards. Now, what I will say is that over time, on average, the cards that are always available in packs, so the base cards, are going to fall in value over time. No matter what happens, there's going to be so much supply in the market that eventually every base card is going to be pretty much fodder. So base cards are definitely going to be the cards that fall over time, but on a day-to-day basis and week-to-week basis, they can go up and down, but on average, from the start of the year to the end of the year, their price will be lower. So that's the first tier of cards. So for a quick summary, meta cards you want to buy on Wednesdays, Thursdays, when packs come out, and Fridays if there's bad MSPs. Okay, that's when when there's good MSPs, not bad MSPs. So Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, when there's good MSPs, that's when you want to buy the meta cards. You want to sell meta cards on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and also Friday when there is bad MSPs. That's when you want to be selling them. Okay? Now the second tier of cards right underneath that is the, fodder cards, the 85s, 86s, 84s that are selling for their base price. Okay, so for example, Connor Hellebuck's 85 is selling for 11K on PS5. That's a fodder card. Those are the cards that we're going to look at next. Now, some misconceptions in the community that I've heard people talk about are that you do not want to sell these cards on Fridays, and that is simply not the case. The only way that you would not want to sell these cards on Fridays is when there are bad MSPs. So, for example, this week, we wouldn't really want to sell them on Friday because these MSPs aren't that good. However, last week, when we had the week 2 spreadsheet, those MSPs were all amazing. So that's when you would want to sell those cards, okay? If that kind of makes sense. That's going to influence the demand for these cards, okay? So the demand for cards, for fodder cards, is completely reliant on MSPs and how good the MSPs are. You want to be buying when the demand is low and selling when the demand is high. The demand will be peak the highest at Team of the Year, so that's when you want to be selling the most. But you also probably have demand because you want to be building the MSPs, so you won't be able to sell everything. But that's why we want to start investing now for Team of the Year, so that we don't have to worry about spending 2, 3, 4,000 more coins per card come Team of the Year time when we could buy them for that much cheaper right now. And then the second situation is the other part of when you want to buy and sell these non-meta cards like the fodder cards is when there is supply on the market. So when there's really good packs on Wednesdays and Thursdays, that's also when you want to be buying them up. But especially on weeks where there's a bad event like this week. I can tell you right now, this Wednesday is going to have very cheap fodder compared to the weeks going forward. And I personally am going to completely load up on fodder right now. I'm probably going to spend, 500 of my 600 remaining liquid coins here. I also have about 300 to 400K worth of, team builder cards in my collection that hopefully, when team builders come out this week is what I'm hoping for. I can be able to sell those for a quick profit. But, you never know. So, yeah, that's just my opinion on when to buy and sell fodder cards. You want to be selling them when there's good events at all times throughout the week, except for probably Wednesdays and Thursdays. But every other day throughout the week, you can sell those fodder cards, and you'll be able to make a good profit on them. They'll be the best to sell on Fridays if it's a really good event, Saturdays and Sundays. But they're generally good as long as there's no supply coming out on the market. Now, the last tier of cards is the base cards like the gold NHL players and the regular NHL players. And those cards are completely, again, dependent on, how many people are building team builders or how many people are building X Factors, stuff like that would affect those cards' prices. And what I will say is that for when team builders come out, the demand for cards is going to go up for those cards because everybody's going to want the new team builders. And the supply on the market of those cards is not just they won't be able to keep up with the amount of people that demand them because so many of them are required. And, people are going to buy them up, especially those teams that are rare, like, some of the more rare teams, like, I don't know, I'm not going to give away the rarest teams because I want you guys to figure that out yourself. I don't want to influence the market too much. But, like, a slightly more rare team like the Montreal Canadiens, okay? Those prices are going to go up because they require so many of those cards per team. And if 100 people want to build that's 150 or 1,500 gold NHL Habs players, and there's just simply not that much supply on the market. So the prices are inevitably going to go up because so many people are buying them at the same time, and that's why I've invested in them, because I feel like their prices can increase a lot. However, the problem with them is that they do take a long time to sell. So essentially, when you want to be buying those cards is when, close to the middle of, I guess, a team builder release, and when you want to be selling them is right before or after a team builder comes out. So you sell them in the hype or you sell them in the reaction. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys all for watching this video. If you made it this far, drop a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. I'll be answering some questions over the next week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.